You reap what you sow. You don't read what you sow, you reap what you sow. Galatians 6 says this: Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. For the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption. But the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. If you're going to sow to the flesh, you're going to reap the flesh. If you're going to sow sinfulness and do sinful activities and actions, there is a reaping, there is a harvest, there is a gathering you're going to have to do after you sow the evil and sow the bad. That's what's happening to Abimelech. On the following day, the people went out into the field. So we've already talked about how Abimelech, how there was a great rebellion in the city of Shechem, and Abimelech has attacked them. And he's won the victory, and Gaal has been run away. But this is not enough for Abimelech. On the following day, the people come out of Shechem and they return to their duties. They're going out into the field, they're working. They've lost this battle, those leaders are gone. And frankly, a lot of these people may not necessarily have been even super supportive of the leaders. They're just going about their duties. Well, Abimelech was told, and he's going to enact revenge against the entire city and against the entire population. So he then takes his people and divides them into three companies, and he saw that people were continuing to come out of the city. So he rose against them and killed them. So he's killing people that are exiting the city to go out and work in the field. And then he took another company and stood at the entrance of the gate, while the other two companies then went and killed everybody in the field. So you see, there's a great slaughtering that is going on to the population of Shechem. And then verse 45, Abimelech fought against the city all that day. He captured the city and he razed the city. He destroyed it utterly. So Shechem is destroyed. And then he sowed it with salt. And indeed, Shechem is not going to be rebuilt until after King David. One of the kings after King David is going to rebuild Shechem. So Shechem is going to be done away with for a very long time because of what Abimelech did. So everybody then, the leaders, went to the tower of Shechem. They went to this stronghold of the house of El Berith. Now, this El Berith, so they're going into a stronghold. They're going into a big old tower to be protected from Abimelech and his armies. But this tower, this stronghold, is called the house of El Berith. And so El is a word for God, and Bereth is going to be a form that was usually attached to Baal. So this El, or this Baal, is a foreign god, a foreign deity. So we see that the people of Shechem are worshiping a false god, so much so that they're calling their stronghold this stronghold of this false god. So Abimelech was told that all the leaders went to this tower of Shechem, and so he went up to Mount Zalmon and he got all of his people together and he took an axe in his hand and he cut down a bundle of brushwood. What is he doing with this? He cut down some brushwood, he puts it on his shoulder, and he told everybody, "You do exactly what I am doing." So everybody cut it down, and then they put it against the stronghold, and then they lit it on fire. They set the stronghold on fire over them. So they took this brushwood and they put it against the tower and they burned it to burn down to burn down the tower and to kill everybody that was in it. So about 1,000 men and women died that went into the stronghold of Shechem to protect themselves. Again, remember, this was the curse. Remember the story of the bramblewood and the trees who are needing somebody to lead them, and one of the sons of Gideon went up on the mountain and said that it told this great parable about the bramble bush and said that if if what you're doing is incorrect, then fire is going to come out of the bramble bush and burn you up. Let it consume you. And this is indeed fulfilling the curse that Gideon's only surviving child said against Abimelech. Remember, Abimelech killed 70 the 70 sons of Gideon so that he could be in charge and he could be king. Well, he continues on this massive melee. He destroys Shechem. We see he destroyed it killed the populace, and he destroys the leader and burns the stronghold. He sows the city with salt, and then he goes to this place called Thebez, which is approximately 10 miles away from Shechem, and he encamps against it and he captures it. But there was a strong tower within the city, and he's fighting against that. And everybody has gone to the top of the city, and he came close to the tower to fight against it, to raise it, and to destroy it. And he got near to the door of the tower to burn it with fire. So his plan for this tower was the same as his plan for the Tower of Shechem. But there was a lady on the top of this tower, and she had an upper millstone, and she threw it over the side, and it landed on Abimelech's head and crushed his skull. Then he's just laying there, half conscious, and he tells the young man that was beside him, he says, "Draw your sword and kill me, lest they say of me, a woman killed me." And this young man thrust him through, and he died. So here we see the evil coming upon Abimelech. He killed 70 uh, his 70 brothers so that he could be in charge and be the king. But then he's doing all of this terrible stuff against Shechem. He's doing all this terrible stuff against Thebez. Remember, he's doing this against his own people. This isn't against the Canaanites, it's against his own people. So we see in verse 56, thus God returned the evil of Abimelech. You reap what you sow. And Abimelech is receiving the punishment for what he has done, which he committed against his father in killing his 70 brothers. And then also, don't let us not think that Shechem is absolved of what they did. It says God also made all the evil of the men of Shechem return on their heads, because they took Abimelech as their king and they aided him in killing the 7 brothers. And so God also made all the evil of the men of Shechem return on their heads. So our attitude to change, attitude to adopt, is that we reap what we sow. So we must be very careful in how we act and how we behave, the things that we say, the actions that we do, because we will indeed reap later, and we will reap more than what we sow. The words that you say and the actions that you do there will be a payday someday in the future, and it will be greater than what you have even done. So let's make sure that we're sowing goodness. Let's make sure we're sowing love and compassion and health among the people that we live with. I pray that's been a blessing to you, and I'll see you in the next video.